Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. Today I will conduct a class on narrative style or passage narration for the students of class 9. And the narrative style, you know that this is a part of English second paper, and today I will try to give some examples and some rules, and with those rules and examples you will understand, or I will try to make you understand the rules of narrative style or passage narration. Let us see. Class 9 and 10 English second paper, topic narrative style or passage narration. Let's see. Rules of passage. You know that in your previous classes, you saw in class 8 you have learned the rules of single narrations or detached narrations, and you have also learned passage narration rules. Though you have learned it, sometimes it may cause some problem to write the answer of the question. So today we will try to have the rules, and at the same time we will try to remove the problems related to passage narration. See, the first rule is, there are several rules. The first rule is, rule number 1, read the passage first and identify the speaker, person spoken to, and the mode of sentence. Actually, these are very much necessary. Okay, if you can identify the speaker, if you can identify the person spoken to, and the mode of sentence. Actually, mode here indicates whether the sentence is assertive or interrogative or imperative or optative. You have to identify them. If you can identify them, then what will happen? It will be easier for you to conduct the class very easily, or to write this answer very easily. Write the answer very easily. Now let us see. Let us see the rules. Example: the man said to me, I want to meet your parents and be introduced with them. The man said to me, I want to meet your parents and be introduced with them. So you see, I have underlined some words or group of words. You see, the man is the speaker. You see, the man is the speaker, me is the person spoken to, and I want to meet your parents and be introduced with them. You see, this is indicative mode or affirmative sentence. So if these things can be identified, then the answer writing becomes very easy for you. Rule number 2, reporting verb will have to be taken at the beginning, though it is in the middle or at the end of the direct narration or speech. Reporting verb will have to be taken at the beginning, though it is in the middle or at the end of the direct narration or speech. So sometimes you will see that the reporting verb may be in the middle or at the end of the direct narration. So when you will try make it indirect, you have to take it at the beginning of the answer. Example: you see, have you learnt your lessons? My mother asked me. So the answer is, my mother asked me if I had learnt my lessons. You see, my mother asked me, this is the reporting verb, though it is used at the end of the sentence, at the end of direct speech. In the answer, we are taking it at first and writing the answer according to the grammatical rules. You see the next example: you helped me a lot, Salam said to Kalam. I am really grateful to you. You see, the reporting verb is used in the middle of the direct narration, and the answer is, in the answer you see, the reporting verb is taken at the beginning. Salam told Kalam that he helped him a lot, and so he was really grateful to him. So you see, in this example or in this rule, reporting verb is used in the middle or at the end of the sentence, at the end of the direct speech, but they are taken at the beginning of the answer. In the next rule, you see, when more than one speech is used by the speaker in direct narration and the speeches are in the assertive sentence, we have to use added, further added, also added, again added, etc. to turn them into indirect narration. Sometimes you will see that one person is giving several speeches or more than one speeches, and in that case we have to add them with the help of added, further added, also added, again added, if the sentences are in the assertive mode. So the example is, the teacher said to the student, "You have solved all the exercise, you deserve praise." So you see, the reporting verb is one, but the reported speeches are two. So the answer is, the teacher told the student that he had solved all the exercises. He added that he deserved praise. So you see, there is added. So we have used here added. So the teacher told the student that he had solved all the exercises. He added that he deserved praise. If we look at rule number 4, you see, when more than one speech is used by the speaker in direct narration and the speeches are in the interrogative sentence. In the previous rule, we saw the speeches if more than one rules are there, one speeches are there and the speeches are in the affirmative sentence. Here in this rule, you see, the speeches are in the interrogative sentence. We have to use then in that case also asked, again asked, further asked, etc. to turn them into indirect narration. Indirect narration. And the example is, you see, example, the teacher said to the student, "Why do you get late to come to school every day? Don't you know the timetable of coming to the school?" You see, the reported speeches are two and both of them are interrogative form. So the answer is, the teacher asked the student why he got late to come to school every day. He also asked if he didn't know the timetable of coming to school. You see, he also asked is given here, also asked, you see, also asked. So in the case of more than one interrogative speeches, we have to write the answer by using also asked, again asked, further asked, something, etc. Now if you see rule number 4, 5a. 5a is, if there is yes in the reported speech, we have to use replied in the affirmative while turning it into indirect form. Sometimes you see some questions are asked like this, that have you taken your meal? The person is spoken to answers like this, yes. So in that case, in the place of yes, we have to write replied in the affirmative or subject auxiliary verb as per necessity. Auxiliary verb as per necessity. You see that if the we have to write the corresponding tense. If the verb is in the present indefinite, we have to make it a past indefinite. If it is in the present continuous, we have to turn it into past continuous, like this. So we have to use the auxiliary verb as per necessity. Let us see the example. You see, father said to me, have you said your prayer? Yes, I said. Father said to me, have you said your prayer? Yes, I said. Answer is, father asked me if I had said my prayer. I replied in the affirmative. I replied in the affirmative. Yes, you see, in the case of yes, we have to write replied in the affirmative. So the answer is, I replied in the affirmative, or we can write according to the answer, according to the solution, or according to the rule of the rule number 5a, subject plus auxiliary verb as per necessity. So we can write I said that I had. I said that I had. We can write like this. You see, rule number 5b, if there is any speech after yes, in the reported speech, we have to use replied in the affirmative and said that while turning it into indirect form. You see, sometimes after yes, some more words are given or some bit of speech is given. Suppose, have you taken your meal? Father said to me. I said, yes, I have taken. So, for that yes, I have taken, this I have taken have to be turned into indirect speech too. And for that we have to write replied in the affirmative and said that. Replied in the affirmative and said that. Let us see the example. See, example, father said to me, have you said your prayer? Yes, I have said my prayer in due time, I said. So the question was, father said to me, have you said your prayer? Yes, I have said my prayer in due time, I said. So the answer is, father asked me if I had said my prayer. I replied in the affirmative and said that I had said my prayer in due time. As the extra portion, for the extra portion, I have said my prayer in due time, we have to add this one and said that I had to say I had said my prayer in due time. Now let us go to rule number 6a. If there is no in the reported speech, we have to use replied in the negative while turning it into indirect form, or subject plus auxiliary verb as per necessity plus not. Subject plus auxiliary verb as per necessity plus not. So replied in the negative for no. In the place of no, we have to use replied in the negative. Let us see the example. Sheila said to Mila, will you go out for a walk with me? Sheila said to Mila, will you go out for a walk with me? No, Mila said. Answer. Sheila asked Mila if she would go out for a walk with her. Mila replied in the negative. Mila replied in the negative, or Mila said that she would not. She would not. Actually, you see, for will we are making would, and for go is coming. You know that after modal auxiliary, main verb is always unchanged. So the answer comes, Mila said that she would not. Okay, the auxiliary verb and the main verb would come here automatically. In the case of rule number 6b, we see if there is any speech after no in the reported speech, we have to use replied in the negative and said that while turning it into indirect form. So no, and after no, if there is any speech, so we have to write replied in the negative and said that while turning it into indirect form. And the example is, Sheila said to Mila, will you go out for a walk with me? No, I have some other work to do, Mila said. So for this extra portion, we have to use and said that. See, Sheila asked Mila if she would go out for a walk with her. Mila replied in the negative and said that she had some other works to do. Okay, Mila replied in the negative and said that she had some other works to do. So, and said that this part is added more for this extra portion, that is, I have some other works to do. If there was only no, so there was no problem, as there is extra portion of the speech, so we have to write and said that. Let us see rule number 7. If there is sir in direct speech, we have to write addressing as sir, or with respect, respectfully can be used. So the example is, the employee said to the employer, sir, I need 1 day leave. Answer is, addressing the employer as sir, the employee said that he needed 1 day leave. Addressing the employer as sir, the employee said that he needed 1 day leave. Or the answer can be like this, the employee told the employer respectfully or with respect that he needed 1 day leave. So the answer can be written very much like this. Rule number 8 says like this, if there is by Allah, by Job, by God, by my life in direct speech, we have to write swearing by Allah, by Job, by God, by my life, while turning it into indirect speech. So the example is like this: by Allah said he, I have not broken the branch of the tree. And the answer is swearing by Allah, he said that he had not broken the tree or glass tree. Rule number 9 says like this: sometimes the reported speech doesn't remain complete. Sometimes it is seen that the reported speech doesn't remain complete, only a part or a phrase is given. In that case, we have to complete the sentence, phrase following the speech of the speaker. The example can be like this: when will you set out for Dhaka? I said to my cousin at 8 a.m. tomorrow, said my cousin. So you see, I asked my cousin when he would set out for Dhaka. He replied that he would set out for Dhaka at 8 a.m. the next day. See, at 8 a.m. tomorrow, the sentence was not complete, the speech was not complete. But when we wrote the answer, he replied that he would set out for Dhaka at 8 a.m. next day. Rule number 10: sometimes the speaker and the listener is not mentioned in direct speech. In that case, we have to use or write the speaker for the speaker and the person spoken to for the listener. So the example is: have you taken enough preparation for the exam? Yes, I have taken a sound preparation for the exam. You see, in the example, no speaker and no person spoken to is given. So in that case, we have to use the speaker for the speaker and the person spoken to for the listener. You see, the speaker asks the person spoken to if he had taken enough preparation for the exam. The listener replied in the affirmative and said that he had taken a sound preparation for the exam. So the speaker and listener is mentioned here in the answer. And in this way, our narrative style or passage narration class concludes. Next time I will appear in front of you with some other topic. Till then, Allah Hafiz, goodbye.